be interesting this year because they're doing.
Listen in to the welcome to the chapter host call. For those lamenting the cold weather or the bumper-to-bumper traffic, glad you could make it through whatever conditions you're in. It is Monday, January 6th, our first regularly scheduled chapter meeting of the year. It's going to be a big year for us at Back Nine. We're pretty excited. Richard has been working hard over the last month putting together the preview meeting. And for those of you that had a chance to watch over the weekend, the preview meeting marketing training video is out. And so the purpose of today's meeting is to get input on those two parts and help you. And so, Richard, if you want to turn your camera on when you get a sec, Richard and I will be here to help with the preview meeting and or the preview meeting marketing components all the way through. And this also includes all the regional franchisors, because for those regionals that are on this call, which is several of you, if you noticed on the training video, I'm using you guys as the reference source for all the tools. So you want to make sure you have complete mastery in all the tools and parts while we get Sandra and Jeff to load them up in the new system and the new training platform, which will be ready in the next couple of weeks as well. So pretty excited about that. Who wants to... With that said, Alan, is there anything you want to add from a high-level perspective before we jump into the other parts?
No, other than we're just excited about 2014 and glad you're all here being part of this and looking forward to some amazing things. We're building some tremendous momentum. We can all feel it in the air, and we're seeing the results now starting to come in on several fronts. And with our new tools and website and all of those things that we're going to be talking about and sharing with you, we're very excited about the direction, and we think you will be too.
That's the mystery man, Mr. Allen himself in the background. There we go. Okay, so who's got questions? Questions, comments, feedback for Richard, for myself, for Mike and Alan, who've been working on parts and pieces as well. Love your thoughts and feedback. Just turn on your camera if you can. And if you cannot turn on your camera, just sing out audio-wise. But I think most of you, looks like you've got camera access of the people that are here. Doug, you are muted.
Now, I like the redundancy that you have on the different plans. And they're all consistent with what we've done in the past. The community partner program was interesting. Going through all that, how was that going to be different than the Dream 50 in its basic development?
Well, the concept of the community partner program is you find people that will invite their members to come, or their constituents, and they get paid $20 for every person who shows up. So it's quite different than the Dream 50. The community partner program, the best way to think of the community partner program is with a specific example. So let's say you know someone that owns or runs a BNI chapter. Okay, you go to that person, excuse me, you have the conversation, and you're inviting them to a workshop on the 3 critical mistakes business owners make and how to overcome them. And any one of the people from that chapter that come, invited by the guy who runs the chapter, and that guy will get $20 for each person that shows up. That also creates a good incentive for them to come, of course, because they'll want to see who's come from their chapter in the process. So that's a completely different strategy than the Dream 50. The Dream 50 is about finding and inviting people directly to the meeting that are key influencers in each of the categories of a full chapter.
Okay, let me rephrase my question. The development seems to be similar. The initial legwork, I know the Dream 50 is primarily outsourced or fully outsourced to some degree. But
yeah, Dream 50 is entirely outsourced.
But there's some prep work that needs to be done even when you're outsourcing before you hand it over.
No. The Dream 50 is entirely designed to be outsourced. So the prep work will be done by the outsourcing people. They'll go out, they'll scrounge around, they'll look for the 200 people in the various categories. Now you may have advice for them. You may say, well, you know, in the restaurant business, I got a couple of leads, and over in the financial planner business, I got these 3 guys. You should, you know, and over here in the real estate,
all right.
like you'll want to
So
look at the list of categories.
Okay,
and
that,
follow
you,
that.
you just you clarified my. What I was trying to figure out how the time involvement between one versus the other, because one's a more significant financial investment. It looked like the prep work was going to take about the same amount of time, and so you're telling me that's not the case.
Yeah, and the reason it's going to be more investment is that they're going to do all that work.
Got it. Well, that makes more sense. The second thing, the $20. I kind of looked. I stopped it and paused it and replayed it again. And can you clarify where the $20 is coming from?
Yep, it'll be paid by the host, by whoever is running the meeting, and it'll be paid. The idea is to pay it out of commissions earned from the attendees. So our expectation is that that 30% of the attendees will sign up. So that means they'll spend $147. 30% of the people, that means, you know, roughly you're going to get $50 for every person who comes, and roughly you're going to pay $20 for every person who comes at those ratios. So you can look at it one of a couple ways. If the conversion rate slips, you break even at 20% sign-up rate. Doesn't cost you a dime on the first month. Remember, not the ongoing. This is just the first month.
Right.
And if your conversion rate goes up, then it's going to be even more profit per attendee going through that system. But so let's say you have a chamber president who really gets into this and invites 100 people, right? 100 people show up just from this one person. And so let's go through the math. Let's say 30% of those people sign up, right? Well, first off, you're going to owe him $2,000 for the 100 people that they invited out, that showed up, right?
Right.
The 30 people that sign up are going to spend $4,500 that night. And all of month 1 goes to the chapter host with this new model that we're doing, because the system rental fees don't kick in. First 3 months it's 0, right? Next 6 months it's $250 a month. And then months 10 and on, it's $500 a month. So you don't even have a system rental fee to pay in the beginning. So $147 would be all margin. I mean, you got some room costs as well. But with that strategy, and this was the strategy that Callan Rush, that Richard used to model the system. And by the way, he's got a pretty bad cold. He's listening in the background, but he won't be able to participate camera-wise this morning. He says hi to everyone and Happy New Year. The Callan Rush system that she uses, this was the most successful strategy of all the strategies she used, right? And if you think about it from a referral program perspective, you're rewarding the behavior you want repeated. You're rewarding show up. It's up to us to create a compelling offer, and I think Richard's offer that he's put together, combined with the Done For You consulting, make it a real no-brainer. I'll be surprised if we're below 50%, but we're planning for 30% to be conservative. But if you drops down to, well, actually, let's work this out now. What would it take to break even? 5 people. Yeah, if everyone came from this strategy and only 1 in 5 purchased, you'd break even on your first month.
So 20% roughly is a break-even
conversion rate.
Conversion rate
from this strategy.
From this strategy here,
right?
And of course, anybody that's going to do the preview night should be doing redundant strategies anyway. So,
if you want 100 people in that room, that's our advice, because we've seen what happens when we do preview meetings with one strategy, right? When we did the If I Had $1 Million workshop, right? You saw Jay worked real hard, right?
Yeah.
But got, you know, I mean, other than executive members and you and Jimmy and me and Alan, what did he have? Maybe a dozen people?
Just about, yeah.
Right? So one of the things we've learned is we definitely need to build redundancies into our marketing, so that we're getting people from different directions in different ways. But if for this particular strategy, part of what I love about it is it's really clear, right? You invite someone, they show up, you get $20. Right? It's really clear. It's not a complicated discussion for someone.
The people, they're going to be giving the tickets away. The mechanics of this was a little bit on verifying they invited somebody, they're going to get a number of tickets. We're going to print 3,000 tickets or whatever, distribute them, and they're all numbered. So the people coming will bring that ticket in. We'll be able to marry that ticket number to the person that we gave it to. That's the mechanics of verifying.
That's one piece. The second piece is the person who gives out the tickets will have the list of numbers as well, so they'll have a list on their end. And the third piece is we're asking each person who gets the ticket, printed on the ticket is a request to sign up and pre-register, right? So if you recall, I'll pull this up on the screen. Window, preview meeting marketing. On the ticket itself, let's see, where are we here? Pre-launch, affiliate referrals. Oh, this is the Community Partners Program, sorry. That's why it's not there.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in the wrong branch. So on the screen is with the copy that'll be on the ticket. To ensure your seat, register using one of the following methods. Call, Doug at 612 blah, 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 or online at tinyurl, blah, 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 blah. And so in addition, we're going to ask people to pre-register when they get their ticket. And that will allow us accuracy on numbers, because now it's not just received a ticket, now I've confirmed I'm coming. It'll give us the opportunity to offer them to bring a guest, right? A referral program of sorts will be simple and easy. And it'll give us a redundancy in terms of the breakage, because generally free events you have about 50% breakage, right? And in bigger cities, as you found when you did the quantum seminar, it tends to be higher in bigger cities than in smaller cities. And so you again, to give 100 people show up, that means we want 200 people confirmed coming.
Right.
And in fact, that's something to keep in mind, everyone. We're recommending 300 tickets be printed, but I would say that would be for markets that are small, friendly, intimate, and have low breakage. For larger cities where you generally have higher breakage, I would print more tickets on purpose, because you're going to need to give out more. And it's, instead of $40, it might be $50 or $55. Mike Mucci, do you recall the next price point up from 300 to say 500 tickets from Ticketmaster, what it does to the cost? I think Mike's on the call in the background. You're muted, Mike. You might be multitasking in the background, Doug. We'll check that later. But so there's three things, right? There's you number the tickets as a host. The person who's giving them out, your partner, your community partner, will keep track, right? And obviously you're going to want to encourage them to come too.
They should, yeah.
It's valuable stuff for them, and if they've got 10 people showing up, that's a couple $100. That's a reason to show up.
You would think.
Right? And that's going to help you, because that creates social proof. Right? The more social proof you have, the better your sign-up rate is going to be to begin with. Now, Callan uses this system when she's doing it from another city. So she's not even having live face-to-face meetings for the tickets. She's not having any of that live personal contact, and that's how she fills her rooms. This is her primary strategy outside of her own email list. This is her primary strategy. So we've added the LinkedIn strategy and the Dream 50 strategy to the two that she uses.
Okay. Well, I'll let other people ask more questions, and then if they're not answered, I'll come back.
You got it. Thanks, Doug. Hey, Jim, over to you.
Can you hear me? Am I? Can you? Okay, good. Well, a couple of things on the preview. It said you're going to give the tickets away for free, but it said something about $19 for the general public. I don't.
So this is an old trick with preview meetings where you put a nominal price tag on the tickets, and then if someone comes across your website, because we'll create a separate page for each city's preview meeting, which will go live a couple weeks before the event itself, they could actually buy a ticket for $19 if they chose to.
Okay.
Everyone's going to get them for free, but if they came across the site and wanted to buy them, they could pay $19 a ticket. and that creates a perceived value of $20 a ticket for the people coming.
I got you. The other question, it may be off point here, but you mentioned something about the system rental fees. I must have missed that in the equation of what's to come down the road once you get set up.
Yeah, with the new model of the free military franchise giveaway, we were looking at how do we create an environment that is scalable and supportable, and we came up with a new model for system rental fees. So you're grandfathered in, so you and Doug and a few of the old timers have a choice. You can go either direction with this, but everyone else is at a new system. Instead of 10% of gross sales forever, by the way, regardless of the size, it's now 0 for the first 3 months, $250 a month for the next 6 months, and then $500 a month after that, but it doesn't go any higher. So if you get a full chapter or even half a full chapter and you're doing done for you business consulting and you're doing any of the other things that happen, you would have been paying $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 in system rental fees. Now your maximum is $500 a month if you go with this other option. And what I was pointing out to Doug is that when a preview meeting happens in the first 3 months, there's no system rental fees yet at all. So the entire deposit, $147, goes to the chapter host right away.
I see. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Got it.
Cool.
The only other thing I would say is I want to thank all the team for putting that together. It looks like it's coming together really good, which deserves a round of applause from the people on the call to the people that did all the work. So I appreciate it.
Thank you for mentioning that. And yeah, a lot of hours were put in over the holiday break by Alan and Mike and Richard and myself, and we appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right. Anyone else? Looking for videos to go on. All right, and just to give us a feel, that's it for the content part of today's meeting. If you're interested in doing a preview meeting, let your regional franchisor know. Just to give us a feel, for those of you that are on this call live right now, just put in preview meeting yes in the chat box if you're interested. And then after the call, reach out to your regional franchisor. Let's look at the timing and the countdowns. And the 6-week horizon with a Thursday night date is the ideal for people, and then we'll get that all going. Any last comments, Alan or Richard, on your side before we wrap?
See if I can turn my camera on. There we go.
Hey, there he is.
I'm actually alive. I just don't feel all that great.
There you go.
But I thought I'd just.
You picked up the bug from me coughing into the camera.
I guess I don't. I'm not sure what. Probably too much shortbread. Anyway, no, great job, Tom. Thanks for that overview. And yeah, only just to reinforce the focus on the Community Partners Program, in the sense that one of the things that Callan did, because she worked directly with my wife, how she reached out to her initially, I just asked her this the other day, was she looked at the market and she looked for coaches, business coaches, life coaches, so she reached out and found my wife that way. And that's how she sort of established that relationship. And with an ongoing relationship there, she built that credibility and that trust. And you know, when she had multiple events, my wife became one of her prime fillers of her rooms. And so all I can say to those is that the contacts that you have out there, it's the credibility of it's the relationship they have with their list that will actually help to fill the rooms. So that's a really key point, is who do you know that's a connector in your community? Because if they say to somebody, come to hear this event because we've got this speaker, this is an event that anybody who's a business owner or entrepreneur will want to learn about, 3 critical mistakes, just because that person invited them, they've got a really good shot of them showing up. So it's that third-party credibility that Callan uses brilliantly. And it's getting into other connectors lists in your community that will really be a vital step in that program working well.
Yeah, and when I was doing my seminars as an eMyth mastery coach, that's the only way I filled my rooms. It was 100%.
Yeah, and
100% of the traffic.
she's about a 35, sometimes as high as 40% conversion. So if we hit that 30 target, I think we'll be thrilled. So yeah, anyway, thanks for that.
Love it. And I see we got Jimmy Stewart's committing to a meeting, and Jeffrey's committing to his Jeffrey the area developer's committing to Jeffrey the regional that he's going to do one. Good. Doug Kendall, Darlene, excellent. Good to hear, Darlene. I think that's everyone I've got on the screen at this point. So reach out to your regionals. Let's set the dates and start backward shaping all the parts and pieces. And looking forward to a busy next few months. There is no Wealth Creating Wednesday call this week. In fact, the reason there's none is because I'm tied up the rest of the weeks of the month, so there will be no Wealth Creating Wednesday calls this month. They will continue in February. We are working on the new franchise website, sorry, the new member website, which will be live very soon. And in fact, it can be previewed already if you go to back9boardofadvisors.com. This is the old site. It shows up. But what you can do is link to one of the interior pages. Let me show you the best way to do that here. Go to the Contact Us page. You're inside the Contact Us page. You'll see the new format, the new look and feel of all the parts and pieces of the site. Unfortunately, we're having trouble with the homepage displaying, so we're working on that behind the scenes. You'll see the new integrated connections with the team. Richard's profile is now up on the site, and a whole bunch more information that you can link to from the bottom. If you go to the existing site and then click on the Contact Us page, and then from there you can navigate on the bottom to all the other links. You'll get a feel for what's happening there. Number two, excuse me. Number three, we are very close to launching the new member portal at myback9.com. myback9.com will be the member portal. This is the a preview of what the site's going to look like. There'll be a member login page. When you log in on the member page, you go into the website on the inside, and there are categories for business strategies, business golf, and better golf. And then as a host, you'll see a category for all your host training, including everything to do with opening your chapter. And then the area developers will see a separate category for additional training there. Regionals will see a separate category, and THQ will see a separate category. These other three categories will only show up if you're at that appropriate level in the business. And then there'll be a bonus category for additional products and services that are happening there. So we're really excited about this. For example, under opening your chapter, you'll see all the different components here will happen, and all the training pieces are being logged in and put inside, choosing a partner, guest invitations, facilitator training, all that stuff. So kudos to Sandra and Jeff in the Colorado region for all the work they've been doing on this. Ton of stuff going on in the background, and it's looking really good. And yes, Darlene, that is the site that the YouTube training will be on, along with all the attachments for the preview meeting training. That will all be in there as well. In fact, what will happen is every bit of training of every tool will be available in that one site for members and for hosts. All going to be in that same spot. And then the other files will just be linked through that. So, oh, we got another one. Bernie and Todd are going to be doing a preview meeting. Excellent. Good to hear, Todd. Excited about that. And I think that's it. Any other questions, comments from anyone for today? Just turn on your camera and ask away, or we will assume we're done for the day. All right, we're done. Thanks, everybody. Make it a fantastic week. I won't be on a chapter host call now probably until February, so make it a great January. And but I'll be reachable by email and doing all the things we do, and Richard and Alan will be doing a yeoman's job while I'm off on my travels. See you guys.